Coach, another win over UTRGV. You guys have won 7 in a row. What were your overall thoughts from tonight's game?
It was kind of the tale of two halves. Offensively for us, we did not shoot the basketball well in the first half. I thought we defended well enough to win in both halves, but especially in the first half, we just missed open shots. I thought we had some good looks, and we've obviously shot the ball really, really well here at the American Bank Center. So, you know, that part's a little bit of disappointment, but you know, as we always say, at the end of the night, when the last tick goes off that clock, as long as you're on the winning end, all that stuff really doesn't matter.
What did you guys do differently against Johnson? He had 33 points against you guys the first time. He was scoreless in the first half, ended up with 15, but you know, that was a big difference from the first time you guys played.
Yeah, we didn't do anything different per se, other than the fact that, you know, we talked about 5 people needing to guard him rather than, you know, just putting Sim out on an island or someone else out on an island and saying, hey, shut down number 1. You know, when you have good players like that, it's got to be all 5 people guarding them at one time. Like, you can't just expect one person to be able to shut down a good player like that. So, you know, again, kind of back to what I said with Robbie's question, I just thought we did a good enough job defensively to carry us through.
You guys were down by, I think, as much as 15 in the first half. Like you said, some of that was shooting. What was defensively you were doing enough to just kind of keep yourselves in shouting distance? You know, how big was it to cut it into single digits before the break?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can cut it to single digits before the break, that's what you want to do. You know, and again, I thought that we did what the game presented, or we took advantage of what the game presented, and they got into a little bit of foul trouble, and we were able to get to the free throw line and get some easy baskets. But, you know, I think in the first half we missed 8 layups, you know, and whether or not you know, some of those there's contact or not, they're still layups. So we should be able to make a high percentage of those. But again, just a testament to the fellas. They came back and they didn't waver. And in the second half, they just stayed the course, and we made a couple baskets, and we were able to pull it out.
Sim, you hit an early 3-pointer in the second half. You know, as a team, you guys didn't shoot well from distance in the first half, but it kind of seemed when you hit that first one, you guys cut it to 1 really quickly. That kind of seemed to not just spark you, but the whole team.
Yeah, I just try to make open shots and stay confident. My teammates found me when I was open, so we just try to stay confident and hit open shots.
You know, the start to be able to cut it to like 1 point within the first couple minutes of the second half and really make it, you know, a tight game the rest of the way. Just how important was that, you know, especially at home?
That's very important. You know, you never want to lose at home. So coaches really gets on us about defense. So we had to turn it up.
Simeon, we had 20 more field goal attempts than they did. A lot of that was because of the turnover margin. Talk about what was working for you guys defensively.
Just hopping in the gaps, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. Just try to crash the boards a lot so we can get more shot attempts, running transition, things like that.
But, you know, I think that Sim and the rest of those guys did a really good job putting pressure on the basketball, getting hands on the basketball. They were very active with their hands. We gave up some straight line drives to the basket in the first half that we didn't give up in the second half.
Right.
You know, maybe number 1 went and spun and somebody slapped it out in the second half, where we didn't get that in the first half. So, you know, we talk a lot about having your hands and being active in ball screens and just in every situation. And, man, that's just a hats off to these guys.
You have some speedy guards. Jalen, obviously, one of them. You guys are missing a lot of free, easy, close layups early. He wasn't. He was kind of the offensive spark for you guys in the first half. But in the second half, you know, just getting deep and kicking out was huge for you guys. He had a pretty big game tonight.
Yeah, Jalen was fantastic for us. And then even when Terrion was in there, obviously he was in foul trouble. Both those guards are so fast, they have a chance to change the tempo and change the entire speed of the game, you know. And we challenge them a lot of times to get 2 layups per half. And if I'm not mistaken, whether they got 2 layups themselves or they got layups for other people or they threw it inside and we got a quick post up and a layup, they absolutely surpassed that tonight.
Simeon, an 8-1 record, 7 wins in a row. We're off to the best start in school history. Over the summer, did you guys believe that this could be happening this season?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to not really believe it, just to think so far down the line. But we was in a circle one day, and Coach really brought us together and said, we have enough to win. enough to win the league. So we all just kind of had to mesh together, and feel like so far, I feel like we're doing that very well.
Getting in a situation like this, home and home non-conference situation like you guys have with UTRGV, how beneficial is this experience going into conference play where you're going to see teams multiple times and you're going to have that opportunity to work on what worked and what didn't work? Getting this in non-conference, how big is that, moving forward when you guys do get into South Conference play?
Sim, I'm gonna let you answer that. You've been in the league. I've never been in the league before.
I mean, it's always good to win. You never want to go into a game just to lose. It's always good to win. So yeah, so I feel like it's always good to win.
Yeah, no, I agree with Sim. I mean, I don't know that either one of us did anything that much differently from game 1 to game 2.
Right.
Offensively, we might have tweaked a couple things, but really defensively, you are who you are when you're 8 games into the season, and you have to stick to your principles, and you have to. As we talk about, out-compete and out-fight the other opponent every single play and every single night. So, I thought the guys did a terrific job in just staying the course and not panicking. And, you just want to give yourself a chance to be in a position to win the game at the end of the game. And we certainly did that with our defense. And then, obviously, we made some free throws and a couple threes down the stretch that helped us.